20-yard line.
You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show.
Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory.
The show exclusively known as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals fan club, the Bird Gang.
Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20. Fitzgerald is insane.
Now with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E.
Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3, Bird Gang.
Welcome back into the Casual House for another week of Kazual Sportz right here on KSRNAZ.com, hottest internet radio station on the web. What a lovely day it has been in sports for the Arizona community, right? Man, this is one heck of a day, a monumental day, the day that's going to probably go down in history as probably one of the better days here in Arizona in history. Y'all already know what we're talking about, but if you want to follow us, go ahead and hit us up on our four major outlets on social media. That'd be Facebook, and we're on Facebook Live, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, all with the same tag, Kazual Sportz, K-A-Z. I don't have COVID. K-A-Z-U-A-L with the Z at the end of the word sports. That's what Hopkins said on his presser. He went, I don't have COVID. But and he started back to talking crazy. But this show was brought to you by the good folks at CASA, court-appointed special advocates. Change a child's story. Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E, and this is the man, of course, y'all know, Sean McConnell. What's going on, Sean?
Man, this is a pinch me, am I still dreaming kind of 12-hour span, because I never thought that game was going to go the way it went. I thought we were going to win. I didn't think it was going to go down like that. And then I didn't think that this Chris Paul thing was going to happen. Now, I know this is basically the two segments of the show, right? But I'm in disbelief. And I have opinions about both. Strong, and some might be controversial, but I have opinions, and I still can't believe it's real. So we'll see if I can even speak.
I think all of Arizona went from mad to elated in seconds. 34 seconds. It took all the way 34 seconds in a football game. Actually, literally probably was like 5 minutes.
It felt like 3 years.
Yeah, but it felt like 3 years. Like a lot of people turned the TV off, walked away, man. Like, okay, that's it. We lost. It's over. I can't watch this no more. And then next thing you know, all of Arizona is screaming on their couches. But yeah, it felt like that. It felt like they had ebbs and flows in this game to where it looked like, oh, we're going to win this game with, the way they look on offense. And then next thing, it started looking like, oh, no, this game is done. We're gone. We're out of this one. They got us. So it was a tale of two different types of games. It was really weird. It really was. But, of course, we know we got a lot to speak on that. But let's go ahead and go into what else is going on in this world of sports.
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
In the Casual House.
Of course, we're going to speak on that Cardinal game in the Cardinal segment coming up. But, man, there's some things going down in the NBA.
Moves being made.
Moves being potentially made, and people are talking. Players are going to be doing some moving again. And this is going to be a different year with all the moving, of course, because people that are moving now this year are going to have a short period of time to get acclimated to where they're going.
You're talking about that one guy that likes to move without dribbling the ball, but he gets away with it. You're talking about that guy? James Harden?
Hey, man. James Harden, yep. He's
Loves
trying to force his way out of Houston. They gave the man, or they offered him a extension that would have paid him $50 million per year.
Yeesh.
And he rejected it because that type of extension, they wanted to make him a Rocket for the rest of his career. And he didn't want to sit there and dwindle away as a Rocket, because that's probably what's going to end up happening with that Rockets team. They're going to have to find a way to go ahead and stack a bunch of draft picks for those two superstars they're going to have to get rid of, because see, this is kind of the backfire of loading up with these superstars, right?
Yeah, it's a purge.
You load up with them, and then it don't work out, then they want out, and now you got to try to find ways to rebuild all over again.
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of messed up what they did to Houston. Houston thought when they had a window, of course, that closed. I thought that window for Houston closed 2 years ago when they lost. I think when Chris Paul was on their team.
Yeah,
and they lost that game to Golden State. That was their opportunity window that closed. And then I never thought Westbrook was going to make them a championship team. Never did. Never did.
No, I agree.
So now he sees that no way I'm going to sit here and dwindle away. Now he wants to go to the Nets and reunite with KD, which to me, how on earth is that going to work with them three people?
It's not just KD. D'Antoni's there. There's way more roots with Brooklyn than we can even imagine. Steve Nash coaching James Harden and Amari coaching KD and whoever they're going to bring in because they're going to have no money, right? But whoever else they're going to bring in to play power forward and center, the Nets might be my favorite out of the East instantly.
Then here we go all over again then, right?
Yeah.
Here we go all over again. If D'Antoni's there and he gets Harden, they're going to be running the same crap, right?
Your favorite system is still alive and well in the NBA.
Still alive. Oh, man. Because basically D'Antoni's going to be coaching Steve Nash to be a coach.
Yeah.
Running what they used to run together.
I love it. It's like the Suns, but in black and white. They're just wearing black and white. It's just like the Suns, like in the 50s or something.
It would be the Suns all over again. But this time would be the Suns with some more dynamic athletes, and that would make it a whole lot different. But I still can he get that team? And Nash. I don't know. I don't see defense when I see Nash. I just see he wants to score. But can that be a defensive team over there in Brooklyn?
Heck no. You see defense when you see James Harden? No.
Exactly.
No.
And that's going to be the downfall again. So you're going to come up against a team that's got some good defense to slow that mess down. If you ain't got a half-court offense, you're going to be the same Brooklyn Rockets, basically.
Brooklyn Suns.
Or Brooklyn Suns, yeah. So I don't know, man. I get the fact that guys can go wherever they want to go and it's their career. They can do whatever they want to do, but all this trying to join these super teams, man, it's starting to get tired, man. And I think that's probably why Chris Paul didn't go back to the Clippers.
I thought he would have went to L.A. I really felt L.A. was going to be the thing. He finally was going to play with
one of the L.A. teams for sure. Because I think maybe he loves the challenge, and he looks like that type of guy that loves the challenge of trying to beat the super team or beat the other team that's supposed to be better. So he's that type of guy. Good luck, James Harden. I don't know. Right now they said there's no, it's no real steam behind this trade yet, because they can't. The Rockets want a massive turnaround for Harden. Yeah. I mean, and rightfully so, right? I mean, if you giving up a guy that's the scorer of the NBA that can score like he scores, and he's a superstar, you ain't gonna just walk in there and take no piece of cake for him. You're gonna get a whole lot of king ransom for that dude.
Absolutely.
And so what can they offer up? I mean, because I don't think Brooklyn should start digging in their pieces and trying to take pieces out of that team, because that team was a pretty good team together too already that played in that bubble.
It was
and you don't want to start giving it. I mean, like Karis LeVert, I think he would probably be the guy out, right? You're not going to have Harden and LeVert and all those other stars at the same time. So LeVert would be the guy that would end up in Houston.
There's too much money with Harden that I think it has to be a 3-team deal, because there's so much money moving around. It's not just picks. Like, obviously Brooklyn's going to give you any pick that you want, but there's also a lot of money you got to make work. And to do that with trying to keep Kyrie and KD, you have to move into a third-team scenario. So that's where it'll get really interesting.
Man, I'm trying to even imagine KD, Kyrie, Harden. It's not enough basketballs to go around. Harden is a stop-the-ball type of dude. He's a stop-the-ball, dribble.
They all love ISO.
And they all are ISO players. And even your point guard, who's supposed to be the distributor, is a ISO guy that wants to score.
Yeah.
Uncle Drew
doesn't share.
I hope that he goes there and it blows up in their face, because it's like that's just like, I mean, you would think all of us together, yeah, we gonna, but all of y'all are egos and all of y'all are kind of almost selfish players.
It almost feels like Lakers with when they got Karl Malone and Gary Payton, but these guys are all still in their prime.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that. I mean, it'll be another super team that's gonna fail, but it'll be another super team nonetheless.
They keep trying.
Some other things are going to be jumping off, of course, as the draft is already Wednesday. So a lot of deals are going to be going down from now until Wednesday. So let's keep our eye on that. Those are the main ones, of course. The main one right here in the Valley, of course, that everybody was waking up celebrating that Cardinals win. And then some more good news. Just, you ever been your birthday? If you got a birthday that's close to Christmas, and you get your birthday a few days, the next time it's Christmas, you get some more stuff stacked on to it. This kind of feels like, man, we getting all this good news in one day. It was kind of cool. And I was like, oh, it actually happened? Wait a minute. It happened?
I can't believe that the Suns did it. Honestly, I'm more shocked that they actually did it.
Why? From a good standpoint or a bad standpoint?
I think a bad standpoint. I mean, you want me to rant?
You was kind of salty on the tech.
You want me to rant right now about it? Because I'm saving it.
You was kind of salty on the tech.
I'm saving the rant.
Yeah, no, we couldn't. This is the Suns' time. You was salty on the text about, man. I didn't feel no good vibe about this move with you. But for me, from my point of view, I didn't like the move from a financial standpoint because I thought that a 35-year-old point guard would be too much to pay, and you give up all his that. But then again, I started thinking when I was on Paul's show, and he hit me with this exact same question. I came back, I started thinking. There's only one thing that makes me happy why we got this kid. It's something I've said back months ago, that he is the perfect point guard for DeAndre Ayton, period. That's the only reason why I love this move. That is the main reason why I love this move. There are other reasons, but this is the main reason. Let's see what DeAndre Ayton is really made of. Is he just that yapper, that talker, that front runner that just talks? But when it's time to do, can he actually do? Because this kid, this point guard coming in is a no-nonsense dude. And he is going to get maximum effort and maximum production out of that dude. And if he doesn't, then the Suns picked the wrong dude. Should have got Doncic when you had the chance.
I agree that Chris Paul is going to bring out something from DeAndre Ayton. I agree with that.
Something, we don't know what though. And Jay was saying he could break him too at the same time. But that's what I'm saying. Even if he breaks him, at least we find out. Okay, this dude's cut from a different type of clog or something. There's no way he has it in him to be what we think he's going to be. So it's time to start shopping this dude too.
To me, this is the closest thing that I've felt to when the Suns traded for Shaq. When the Suns traded for Shaq, everyone thought, whoa, this is going to do something. This is big. This is big. Look, there was a lot of team chemistry, a lot of great ball movement. You had young core, a lot of assets that you could have offloaded, and you offloaded it for a 2-year, what's left of a 2-year contract on a dude that's in his late 30s. It says to me that you're afraid that you're going to lose Booker after 2 years.
Okay.
That's what it says.
What's wrong with that?
Not necessarily anything wrong with that, but I will feel better about this deal with the subsequent deals that happen after. What does Chris Paul bring in free agency-wise? Who is going to come follow Chris Paul to be with Booker and Ayton? Because before it was, look at this young core now that is literally opening the door on their prime. Booker, Oubre, Rubio's is hitting a consistency page. Ayton is around his prime, starting to find some things. The timeline was there. Now it's time to use it. And then we just offload it. I think too much. But if Chris Paul can bring in someone else, another name, it doesn't have to be this big break banker name, but something else, maybe like we were saying, Serge Ibaka. If you could dream, if we're still dreaming, we're going to the whole dream aspect. Maybe Anthony Davis says, you know what? One state over isn't so bad. I'm going to come over here. Then, okay, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. But if it's just Chris Paul this offseason, I think we took a step back.
How can we take a step back when we gave up guys that were on the team that didn't make that much of a difference?
Ricky Rubio made a huge difference. Way more assists per game, better ball movement.
What I mean by that is you're replacing Ricky Rubio. That's a given. He's already replaced. Everything else outside of Ricky Rubio is nothing. Kelly Oubre did nothing for this team in the bubble. They can play without Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is the ball stopper for this team. Kelly Oubre is the sore thumb that stuck out once everybody got healthy. Everybody never got healthy. That was the issue why we got to see Kelly Oubre do what Kelly Oubre did. Nobody really was healthy. If that full team that was in that bubble came back and kept the same exact team, I guarantee you there would have been issues of Kelly Oubre not fitting in this offense. So you really didn't give up anything. You swapped a good point guard that's a better point guard and a better scorer and a better shooter. And yeah, it's only for 2 years, but Rubio wouldn't have been here past 2 years anyway as well. So what is the difference?
When we talked about Chris Paul a couple weeks ago, when this started to rumble, right? His numbers are way down, below Rubio's. So I'm saying I think we regress in the point guard position a little bit. The leadership there obviously is there. The experience is there, but I think Ricky Rubio was better suited for this squad. I do.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You think we've stepped back when we pick up a guy that is clutch? First of all, a guy that has cutthroat attitude, not afraid of the moment, a guy that will take every guy on that team and make them better verbally and showing by his actions, which is some things that Rubio could not do. Rubio was too passive as far as when it came to getting in on guys, as far as getting in the guy's face and making them get where this guy is cut from the same cloth LeBron is cut from. When I'm talking about clutch, talking about a guy that just never had the team around him to reach that last step. I think this is what I think. I think he thinks that the team that the Suns are right now, with his leadership and what he's always brought, playoff pedigree and all those things that are behind him, this team is the better team that he's ever been on. Look at the big man. If he maximizes what he's supposed to get out of DeAndre Ayton, he will have better than DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin. He will have that. Because the kids that are around him, the way he passes the ball and the way he demands respect and could also be demanding some double teams, and the way he runs that pick and roll with this team, man, I had issues hearing about it before, and I'm going, no way it's going to happen because I didn't think it was going to happen, first of all. Second of all, I had issues only from a financial standpoint. But now that I see what they gave up for it, I don't really see a big deal what they gave up. I see the same team. I see the same exact team, but only with a better point guard that can score, that you bet not leave him wide open. You can leave Ricky Rubio wide open all you want and let him shoot that crooked jumper he shoots. You leave this dude wide open, you're gonna pay for it. And then you mentioned earlier that this feels like Shaq moved to you. I don't think so. Shaq was an old big man. That's a different story when you got an old big man with bad knees and 7 foot tall and can't move anymore. When you got another guy that's still somewhat in the finishing of his prime and still making all-star teams and still able to do what he's been doing up until this point.
We both know.
I don't know.
We both know all-star teams are more of a popularity contest than a stat contest. Let's be honest.
True, but you got to do something to get on them too. You got to be.
Yes, but you also get back pay for missing out when your younger years when you were actually better than you are in your older years that you were supposed to get on, you didn't get on. And now, anyways, that's a different thing. But I'm not knocking Chris Paul's intangibles.
I think it leads closer. I ain't gonna say exactly. I think it's closer to when he got Barkley. I do. I think it's closer to that than it is to Shaq. I think it's closer to when you got Barkley, because Barkley came and gave that Suns team a presence. Chris Paul is going to give this young Suns team a presence.
If he can stay healthy.
Instant credibility. Yeah, if he can stay healthy. And he had his healthiest season of all last year. He only missed 2 games, and those were not from injuries. He missed 1 game because he was out for Kobe's thing, and the other thing was out something when they boycotted the night in the bubble. Those are only 2 days he missed. So he had a full season.
I'm not saying Chris Paul is a bad player. Like, I feel like I have to defend this. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying it's the worst move we've ever made. What we're missing here is the Robert Sarver factor. He gets too pushy. He jumps the gun too quick. He did it with the Shaq thing when he shouldn't have blown up the Suns, and I think he's doing it now. He's jumping the gun a little bit. He's afraid to lose Booker, and he's trying to keep it in. Okay, fine. If it's a 2-year window, it's a 2-year window. I'll ride with that. I'll be fine with that. But to me, it looked like he pushed it too quick, and he wanted to just fold.
Here's where I think you're wrong. I don't think this is a Robert Sarver move. This is not Robert Sarver. This is Monty Williams and Devin Booker. This ain't Robert Sarver. This is Monty. Look, when Devin Booker was in the dang on bubble, do you think just because they played against this Oklahoma City Thunder, what we saw on TV is the only time they got to talk? These dudes was talking with each other, was sitting in the hotels chilling, talking about this stuff.
I know
Monty
they're close.
Williams knew what he wanted.
I know they're close.
So
I get that.
They took what they wanted to Sarver and made him do it. It ain't Sarver wanting no Chris Paul. No way.
You're giving
no
him way too much credit. You and I both know he meddles in everything.
How much you want to bet when you find out the details later? This is all more Devin Booker and Monty Williams than Sarver.
You mean when they get the PR team to write up the details so that it doesn't look like Sarver did it? Is that what you mean? Because that's what they're gonna do.
I'm telling you, this don't even feel like a Sarver move. This feels like a team that says, look, you know what? Everybody else got that one guy or that guy on there that they go out. These guys start talking with each other and they talk. Let's do this, and they get together and they collaborate and make those moves happen. We saw that with Miami and the three guys. We saw that with all these other guys that are getting together. This is what that feels like to me. They're looking at Robert Sarver like, you stay out of the way. We want this guy. That's what it feels like to me.
This is the
Now,
first.
I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right 100%. But this feels more like the players making the move rather than Sarver's doing it. I guarantee you, Booker has a lot to do with this.
Of course he does, but this is the first time we both feel completely different. I still think the Suns are going to be successful. I just feel they pushed the issue, and I think they spent a little too much to do this. I think it hurt them a little too much to do this.
Okay, let me ask you this then. You said you think we took a step back. How can you take a step back from a guy that you know instantly put on your team is going to make you a playoff contender? How can you take a step back? You ain't never been to the freaking playoffs. This guy's going to get you there. If he can take that OKC Thunder team with all them young players to a, 5th or 6th seed in the playoffs in the West, he can get this Suns with all his talent to the playoffs. So now, how do you take a step back when you got 2 years of a guy and you get 2 years of Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton experience in the playoffs? Then whatever young point guard you add is sitting behind Chris Paul. How is that taking a step back?
When you look at his last 3 years and the numbers are starting to do this,
it's not about the numbers, though. Remember, you just said it ain't about the numbers. It's about what Chris Paul brings. Forget the numbers. We got enough scoring.
Okay, so if he gets 4 assists per game, is that better or worse than rookie?
Oh, that's horrible. When he has to make everybody better, and you know he'll do this. The assists are going to be his main thing.
Those are down. They're down.
Okay, down for what reason? Talent on the team, maybe. Yes, yes. All young players. Yes. You talk about a guy that he's got all this talent around him now. His assists are going to be right where they need to be. They're going to be probably right there where Rubio's were.
Okay, tell me off the top, what do you think his assists were last year?
Who, Chris Paul's?
Yeah.
On an average, probably 7?
6.7.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Year before it was, let's see, what was it? 8.2.
Okay. What team was he on the year before that? He had the Rockets, right? He was dumping off assists to James Harden, shooting threes and making them. It's talent. Now he's going to be having that big DA in the middle, and Devin Booker running free without no double team? Are you kidding me?
What was Ricky Rubio's assist last year?
With this young team, probably around close to about the same, about 8.
8.8.
Okay. You're not losing anything, dude. 1 assist a game that's going to be higher
2.
with the talent that's with the talent that's got another year together. I don't think that 1 assist is that much of a big deal.
It's 2, 6.7 to 8.8. So it's 2.1 assists better. So that's 4 points a game.
Okay, 4 points. Wow, that's really going to make us good or bad.
Hey, 4 points is what we were down by when Hail Murray happened last night. That is football,
Okay,
but still.
Okay, but if you're down 4 points or down 3 points or down whatever many points you need a clutch shot, do you want Rubio taking that shot or do you want Chris Paul taking that shot?
I want Devin Booker taking that shot.
If Devin Booker's double teamed.
I want Devin Booker taking that shot.
And they're going to leave that point guard wide open.
I want Devin Booker taking that
double
shot.
Team, they're going to leave that point guard wide open, and they leave that point guard wide the heck open like they do with Rubio. Who you want taking that shot, Rubio or Chris Paul?
Ask Kawhi Leonard and Paul George who took that shot. Just ask them. Devin Booker takes that shot. Doesn't matter who's on him.
Yeah, but see, you're missing the point. The point is having Chris Paul is going to be better for the Suns than it is having Rubio. I'm telling you, teams that are going to teams that are going to strategize against the Suns know, okay, we got to pick our poison. Okay, let's take Booker away. If Rubio's your point guard and they take Booker away, do you trust Rubio to make that outside shot to keep you in a game and win a game? Hell no. Chris Paul out there, I guarantee, oh, no, don't leave that dude open. Oh, game over. Big difference. I'm telling you, dude, he brings an element to this team that gives them instant credibility. Instant, oh, they're legit because he's going to make them legit.
Two other stats that
I love the move from simple I love the move from a simple fact of there will be no more softness on this team. There won't. There won't be no more soft act. He gonna put that stuff to rest real quick. I just want to see what we maximize out of DA because DA is the future, right? We know Chris Paul ain't gonna be here past 2 years. DA is the future. I want to see what we got in that dude, and I want this guy to bring it out of him. I don't care if he makes him mad. I don't care if he scares him to death. Whatever it may take, I want to see what we get out of DA and what's he really made of.
Now look at this. As far I'm digging more into the stats on the fly while we're doing this because I know we're not going to convince each other. But the only real difference between these two guys last year, 2.1 more assists for Rubio, 4 points more a game for Chris Paul. The 3-point percentage is pretty much the same. Steals are pretty much the same. Rebounds pretty much the same. So what you're looking at is a little less passes for Paul and a little bit more for Rubio. Points flip. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to take a huge step back. I'm not saying that. But I think this deal to me only shows its worth with whatever he attracts in here in free agency or via trade.
And don't you think that that's probably part of what they talked about before they even agreed to a trade?
Yeah, but they did that with Tyson Chandler, and that backfired too. We're supposed to have Aldridge by now, right?
Chris Paul is well respected around the NBA.
That's fair.
All he has to do is pick up a phone, and I mean, there's talks already that he wants to bring Gallinari with him. There's talks already that he wants. Not saying that's a good move or not. I'm just saying guys want to follow this dude. There's talks around Ibaka wants to follow him here. There's talks around a lot of guys that will see. Oh, wait a minute, that guy's over there, and then what? And then they're instantly going to think what they did in that bubble too. Oh hell yeah. He's going to attract some people to come here. I guarantee you that. So now the question is going to be, why would he attract another superstar to come here? We don't have room for another superstar. And you just got to talk about AD. How would that even work? Unless you talk about getting rid of Aiden, of course. That's different.
Maybe. I mean, unless there's some money moving around. I mean,
okay. Well, we'll see what this first year does with it. If Aiden don't get where he's supposed to be and look like he's supposed to look, I guarantee you he gets shopped.
He might be. Chris Paul might walk him to the airplane.
But see, that's the thing. Devin Booker and Chris Paul are almost the same when it comes to the cutthroat and comes to the type of player they are. Devin recognizes that I need a guy like this. I can't do it by myself.
But then why hasn't Booker brought out something from DA?
Because Booker's not that type of leader. Booker needs to be led himself. Booker needs to be led himself sometimes.
And that might be a problem.
Take over and lead and make everybody, like a point guard because he's not a point guard. We forced Booker to play point guard.
And that's fine.
He didn't have one.
Kobe Bryant wasn't a point guard, and he brought a hell of a lot of people. Kobe Bryant wasn't a point guard, and he brought a hell of a lot out.
But why did Kobe bring out? Kobe brought it out because he scared it out of everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what Chris Paul's gonna do. He's gonna scare it out of everybody. Kobe wasn't a point guard. Kobe just led by example and led by what he knew what was going on in the court. That's what Chris Paul will bring to the Suns. I guarantee you. If anything else, it's not about points. It's not about whatever. It's definitely going to be about staying healthy. We definitely know that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, and if he stays healthy, what he brings on the court as opposed to what Rubio is bringing is two totally different things to me. Two different dynamics. Rubio was excellent for this team because they didn't have a point guard. They didn't know how to play together. Rubio brought that. Rubio brought togetherness to this team and showed them how to play as a team. This guy's going to get them to the next level.
I hope
where
you're
they're
right.
trying to go.
I hope you're right.
Huh?
I hope you're right.
Man, trust me. Trust me. When you're watching a Suns game and Chris Paul hits that game winner, you would change your tune.
Maybe. We'll see. How many assists does he have?
You know what? You could be right, and I'm cool with your stance on it. I got tunnel vision when I see him grabbing DA by the jersey. Hey, get right here, get right there. I'm waiting for that moment because you know it's gonna happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
You know it's coming. You
Yeah.
know it's coming.
Oh yeah.
I'm good with that, man. I'm like, yes, I want to see what D. And it's not like. And Paul was talking to me when I was on his show. When I was on his show, it's not like I want DA to turn into this mean dude. It's not
I do.
that. It's more like if you're gonna smile and smile, okay, you can smile and do all you want, but when you're on that court, you better be aggressive, and that's what it's about. I think that's what Chris is going to bring out, aggressiveness, because he's aggressive. The dude is, you already know he's like a subtle, dirty player.
Yeah.
To a point.
I just
he gets
hope it.
away with so many things. So I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be teammates that don't like this dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, and DA might be one of those guys that I just don't like this dude. But I'm guarantee you, when you're making your first playoff appearance, you're gonna be like, "Hey, if it wasn't for that dude, we wouldn't be here."
Yeah. I hope
And
it lasts.
I'm looking at the team now that was in the bubble minus no additions. Do you think that same team would have made it to the playoffs?
Well, we did all we could do in that 8-game scenario. So
Correct.
no matter what we would have done, it wouldn't have mattered. The only thing that would have helped us is that Chris Paul wasn't on the Thunder, and so the Thunder would have fell down a little bit.
No. I'm talking about after the bubble. That's take that same team into this new year coming and go, is this playoff team? Okay, we'll be right borderline trying to make it. Yeah, we'll probably be right where we were last year, trying to barely make it there. Chris Paul puts you in the mix. He puts you in the category of from 6 down to 8 seed.
Yeah, because
at least.
Well, because now you don't know what is going to happen with the Thunder and, frankly, Houston. So there is a mix now because of the other moves that are being made.
Exactly. That's 2 teams already off the dang table, and there's only 5 teams out there that are worth trying to catch in the West.
If the Suns are going to do this push, and maybe it's out of fear, whatever we're going to speculate on, they can't be done. They need to keep going. They can't be done this offseason. Chris Paul isn't the only move you make then.
You're right. Speaking of that point, and I'm glad you said that, remember when some certain guy was talking about what they should do in free agency and who they should get in free agency?
Uh-oh.
I was that guy that kept saying, make Dario Saric your free agent. Remember I kept saying that? What did they just do? They just signed him and got him back. That's their free agent. That's the right move because that guy is a different dude than who you signed the first time. That dude was the difference in the bubble. I'm telling you, he was the difference in the bubble. It wasn't Aiden. Saric was the difference in the bubble.
Okay.
Aiden was along for the ride. Go back and look at all the tape. Aiden was along for the ride, and they gave him the credit because of who he was and the status he was. Saric was the guy that carried this team in the paint.
I'll raise you one more.
Okay.
You can have your Saric, but Chris Paul might have a field day with him too on being soft, but that's a different thing.
That's true.
Aaron Baines needs to come back because that's not just one dog in the house. That's 2 dogs because Aaron Baines doesn't step down to anybody.
That's true. And Chris would love Aaron Baines.
Exactly.
But the money's not going to be right with Aaron. I think they're going to be having to get rid of Aaron Baines and Frank Kaminsky.
Well, Frank can go, but we
of
need
course,
Aaron
of course.
Baines.
But I was not on board with this trade because I heard a lot of people rumbling talking about throwing Cam Johnson. I was like, hell no. They better not put no Cam Johnson in no trade. And they did not give up him. They end up still having the 10th pick as well. So all they gave up for the trade was Oubre, Rubio, Ty Jerome, and Jalen LeCue, and then, of course, the 2022 first-round pick. And you go, wow, a first-round pick in 2022? Well, think about it. 2022, we should be a better team. We're not going to be in the draft lottery.
That's the hope.
So at least we hope. That's what we're hoping that
Could
it
come
goes
back
that
to
way.
bite us if it bombs, but let's hope it doesn't bomb, right?
Everything's a crapshoot to begin with, man. You know that. I mean,
Oh,
nothing's going to be guaranteed, but you gotta. Nothing's guaranteed, but you gotta look at a guy's resume and go, I know what that dude did over there. Now, is it just because it's just going to be Arizona sports, and now that he's in Arizona, all that's going to end, and here we go. We are used to that. I know you're used to that.
That's my whole shtick. That's where I'm coming from.
I can tell that. I can tell that's where you're coming from. But this dude, I mean, Chris Paul, I've always loved his game. I've always looked at him and like, man, why can't we have a guy like that on our team? Because of the fact of how he competes in the biggest moments of games. You don't never see that dude shy away from anybody, anything, or any whatever. And he makes his teammates follow that. We need that attitude for this team. And Devin Booker got that attitude a little bit to that point in the bubble. They followed him in the bubble to get to that point a little bit. But they need another guy that has done it longer than Booker and got more experience in doing it longer than Booker. And from a point guard standpoint, let Booker have his natural position. Stop letting him play point guard. Don't put the ball in his hand in point guard anymore. Let him have his natural position where he can dominate at that position. And Chris will take care of the rest of the point guard stuff. Man, as soon as DA picks this thing up and that pick and roll and how because Chris ain't gonna be like this. Look, if we do the pick and roll and I throw it up to you, better not catch it and then lay it up. You better be dunking this thing. He's gonna bring that out of DA. I'm telling you, because DA loves to do the pick and roll, stop and do a fade and pump, all that crap. No, go straight up and dunk on somebody. But we'll see. But not only Chris Paul. I think Monty Williams is going to play a big part of this too, because he's going to look at DA like, don't come running to me. There's your guy that's going to teach you on the court. Because DA going to be like, he's messing with me. Nope, that's the guy.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know why it just fits perfect to me. And it's only 2 years. Cool. Find a point guard that's going to sit behind that dude and learn. And I know this has got, like I said, when you think back, this has got NBA superstars, today's superstar written all over it. Let's play together, dude. This is more player than it is owner. I could be wrong on that because you've been around here longer than I have, and you've seen Sarver do what Sarver does, but this just doesn't feel like that to me because Sarver pretty much was out of the way of all of what happened in last year's season. He didn't say nothing. He was out of the way. Matter of fact, when he brought Monty Williams in here, they let Monty have all he wanted. So I'm just thinking this is just a move from that standpoint than it is from Sarver. But I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm just a dude from California. But
Yeah. I mean, losing Oubre stings. He was a whole different type of attitude that the Suns had, and I don't want to lose that fire. That I'm going to drive the lane and take your head off, and I'm going to let you know about it afterwards. Because there's not a guy on that team that'll do that now. There's not.
But I guarantee you, with Chris on this team, we'll develop a guy to be that way. I think Cam Johnson could turn into something, maybe not as mean as Oubre, but a relentless. Nobody expected Cam Johnson to attack the rim the way he attacks the rim.
That's true.
We thought it was just gonna be a shooter out there shooting three. He attacked the rim and dunked on fools in that dang bubble. So can you imagine that getting better and better and better? And then of course Bridges at the same time getting better and better. Man,
I hope so.
They got every piece they need to be a playoff team. Adding that point guard that's gonna just tie it all together and bring a sense of where you got to have a sense that we can't be beat in you. Because if you feel like you can be beaten, you fear the other team, and you've already lost that battle. This Chris Paul comes and think he's going to win every game, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I know we got a lot to spin on that for the whole week, so I'll end that right now because we'll be on it all night.
Yeah, you're too hyped.
I love the move now that I think about it, only from the standpoint of maximizing what I'm going to get out of my number one pick that should have already been starting to blossom as the number one pick and looking like a dominant number one pick. I want to see what that looks like. So let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about, of course, the luck that we finally got in Arizona. Stick around, Bird Game. We're going to talk some Cardinals and the first place team in the West.
Yeah, but
man, sounds good to me. Kazual Sportz Show, Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell. We'll be right back.
We're going to take a little break, but we'll be back in a while, so don't nobody go nowhere.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
This is Larry Fitzgerald. You listen to the exclusive voice of the Bird Gang, Kazual Sportz.
Welcome back into the Casual House, Bird Gang, Suns Nation, and all you wonderful fans out there in the valley. Let me find my key here. All right.
Hopkins to the left, 3 receivers to the right. Cardinals trail by 4. They're out of timeouts. 11 seconds left in the game. First down at the Buffalo 43. Now the Bills drop 2 men back 25 yards downfield. Murray back to throw. Flushed out. Rolling left in trouble. Slips a tackle. Got to launch it. He does. Left side into the end zone. Jump ball. And it is. Is it caught? Is it caught? Oh my goodness, it's caught. DeAndre Hopkins caught it. He caught it for a touchdown with 1 second left. I can't believe it. You've got to be joking me. Hopkins reaches up with 3 defenders around him and pulls it in, and the Cardinals lead it 32-30 with a second left.
You can't cover Duke. You're not going to be able to cover him. Throw the ball up. That's what Kyler Murray did. He extended the play with his legs and just chucked that thing up into the air. Into the desert sky, baby. And D-Hop brought it down. Touchdown.
He's got 2 frying pans for hands. When he has his hands at his side, it looks like he's holding lunch pails. He's got these enormous hands, and he reached up there with those 2 mitts with 3 Bills around him, and he pulled the ball down.
It sounded like at first Dave Pasch was choking Ron Wolfley as he's talking.
That just made this thing feel even more excited. Just listening to Dave Pasch do that day, call him and Wolf together, man. That is
pure passion,
classic.
man.
That is classic. But man, I know I'm sitting in my office looking at this game like, here we go. Let's get ready to start breaking down all the bad and all the missed opportunities and all the same old stuff. The penalties, the missed opportunities, the bad play calling by Cliff Kingsbury, the missed picks by P2, and everybody's going to ride P2 in this. I mean, it's like, come on. And then next thing you know, the Hail Mary goes up. Bang. I'm like, wow. I could not even believe it, man. It's like, yeah. And then I started screaming, that's why we got him. That's why we got him. That's why we got him. Yeah. Stuff like that, bro. So that was awesome, man. Unbelievable finish to this game, but which never really should have came down to that type of play, though. But I mean, hey, this is the NFL, and anything can happen. But we shouldn't have got to that point, man. I think the Cardinals just, I mean, from a defensive standpoint, played a pretty good game.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, especially in the later half of the game, 4 out of their was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of their last 6 drives, it was punt, interception, punt, interception, and then they had the touchdown to kind of put the nail on us, right? That we thought was the nail in the coffin. Exactly. Defense held up really well in the second half.
So we did an excellent job. I think we even also did a good job in the first half to hold them to 3 field goals because they were moving the ball. They could have scored touchdowns on those field goals. We held them. They owned 16 points, for the half, 16-9. We only got 3 field goals ourselves because we didn't do so good in the red zone. We was like 2 out of 4 in the red zone, which we normally we're better than that. We're at least fit. We're at least close to 100% almost in the red zone, and we were down. Actually, we were in there in I won't say a red zone, but just being able to score. We gave up 3 chances, and we had 3 field goals. But at the same time, the defense forced them for 3 field goals. So
yeah,
I thought
and harder field goals too. I mean, their field goal kicker Bass. That's some nice Bass. If you know the SNL skit, he can hit 50 plus like it's nothing. Right.
And he got those opportunities because we let opportunities get away.
Yeah, I had some kicker envy for sure.
Patrick Peterson had 2 picks that led to 2 field goals in that first half. Both those missed picks led to 2 field goals. So you get those 2 picks, you take them field goals off the board, different story. But I mean, it's a lot of ifs and a lot of if of course, we can all look back to. But, man, when you put this whole thing together, I thought, okay, it was like I said earlier when we were talking in the pre-show, it looked like two tale of two different games. I thought, okay, they're going to just score every time they get the ball on us. It felt like it.
It looked like it.
And then when we start to stop them, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, okay. And then we kept getting the field goals, like, okay, we just can't score today. So got in that second half, we start scoring, and we were stopping them. I'm like, okay, wait, hold up, this thing just flipped. We should win this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like we just couldn't give that last little dagger to put them away. And that was due to, a bunch of weird stuff. When is the last time you seen Fitz get his hands on a ball and it just squeezes out and pops up the way it popped up?
That was the flukiest thing I've ever seen number 11 do.
It's like, that don't happen.
No.
Wait a minute. Yeah, and it was that was going to be the death blow drive right there. Did you see that?
Oh,
They
yeah.
were moving the ball. Kyler was working it, and then he throws the ball because Fitz was so wide open. Kyler probably got too excited and threw that thing down to his feet behind him. So that's on him. But Fitz still made a good effort to keep it off the ground, and he did not let that ball touch the ground because that's just who he is. But when he hit the ground, it just squeezed out and bam. Fluke play.
Fluke play.
Man.
Or Drake fumbling it and the ball shooting 15 yards forward.
Right. Another fluke play, and Drake balled out. He came back
100 yards off 16 carries.
Like, man, I'm like, okay, we need to ride that for a long period of time, which I thought we would do. I thought we would ride him out on that last 431. I'm telling you, I know you were saying the same thing. Why are we throwing the ball, Cliff? Yeah. See, Cliff is a little confused right now. Cliff, last week, everybody got on him. Why you didn't get aggressive? So now everybody got on me for not being aggressive. So now I'm just going to be aggressive in this moment. No, it's about the situation of the game. The situation of the game dictates that you need to. Drake was balling. They couldn't stop him.
And chew the clock out.
They hand the thing off. Chew the clock up. Make them use their timeouts. Who knows? You probably would have picked up a first down because Drake was running at, 5-point-something, 6 yards of pop?
Yeah, he was having a really good ratio for a long time.
Offensive line probably felt a little cheated right there. It's like, okay, wait a minute. The drive previous to that 431, he was gashing them. I was like, man, okay, keep handing it to him. But for some apparent reason, Cliff just flipped the script and said, y'all want me to be aggressive? Here I go. And he chose the wrong time to be aggressive.
Yeah, and
so he's kind of still trying to fill this thing out as a coach, and I get it, but he didn't back down from it. He was on a radio show earlier today. He straight up said, I'm gonna be aggressive right there. I'm like, but that's not what the game dictates.
You got the interception, and you're at the 41 with 4:30 left, and you go 3 straight pass attempts, right? I mean, that's just brutal. That just
3 straight pass attempts and a sack.
And it took all of 7 seconds to do that.
When you could have took off at least 45 seconds per play.
Maybe at least a minute and a half.
A minute and a half, and then at least took one timeout away from them. They figured like I felt like Buffalo was saying like, oh, they don't want it, so let's go take it.
And they did.
And that's what happened. That 431 was left. They just methodically went down, and I know that there's one dude that's probably has nightmares in his sleep right now. And that's Byron Murphy with Cole Beasley in his mind, in his head. That little dude just got on my nerves the whole game. I'm like, will somebody cover this dude?
Well, that was a tough assignment, right? Like on the neutral zone. On the neutral zone, we talked about put Murphy on Diggs, right? Because we forgot all about Beasley in this game.
Right.
And we looked like idiots, right? Because they both burned us. That's a fast receiving core. And if these two teams meet in the Super Bowl, that is a very interesting matchup again because their speed outspeeds our defense, and our offense can get some things away with their defense. But man, that was wow.
And it's kind of unfair though, because everybody, Barry Murphy got 8 up, but that is an unfair assessment because
he's a missile.
He is impossible to guard. That especially on that fake that like he's going down and he stops and goes back out, and cuts. That's wide open every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, would somebody just hurt this dude? I mean, you don't want to see nobody get hurt.
No, but at least let him know that you're there.
Yeah, he was burning me. I was like, this dude is unstoppable. And then I look at our defense. I go, okay, y'all had to have studied the tape. In the first half, we saw the exact same play that Buffalo ran on Seattle with John Brown on that wide receiver screen, and he cut it back and started taking it. They did the exact same play, and it worked just the same on the Cardinals.
Well, when you have
how can you not be ready for that?
When you have 5 offensive linemen running downfield, you got no chance.
Not be ready for that. They just did that on tape last week.
You see a wall of linemen, you better just get out of the way because there's no stopping that.
It's kind of frustrating, though. But DeAndre Hopkins is a totally different animal, man. This kid. Can you think back? I wonder if Bill O'Brien was looking at that game.
I mean, he's not doing anything else right now, right? I mean,
all around Houston right now, they're still saying hire him back just to fire him again. Yeah. That was a dumb move because this is why we got this guy. This is why you go out and you're happy to have a guy that gives you this element on your team that makes you dynamic and you add him to Kyler, just makes it even better. But this kid is definitely from a different, he's that freak type dude.
He's just different. That's what
that ball was up in the air. When that ball was up in the air and I saw he was in the middle, I said, he got a chance. I said, that's Hopkins. But I never really thought he would come down because you're taught to knock the ball down.
Yeah.
Them dudes was trying to get a pick.
To be honest, Kyler's ball went so high, I thought he overthrew the end zone for a minute there. I was going, this ball just disappeared. It's in the third row. It's in the nosebleeds. Crazy.
Right. You heard it all day today. I'm pretty sure you have. But since we have our time on this show to do our own thing here, tell me what's better, the throw or the catch? I mean, you can't have the catch without the throw.
Right.
The throw don't even happen if Murray doesn't get away from that rush.
Also right. But the catch doesn't happen if Hopkins doesn't follow Murray. So that's also a thing.
That's true. And the catch don't happen if Hopkins doesn't get himself in position to make the catch.
Look, the picture isn't about Murray falling out of bounds, right? The picture is Hopkins with the Jordan gloves over the Adidas gloves and the Nike gloves. It's the catch.
True. When it probably should be about Murray falling out of bounds. But you can't really tell. You can't really tell the story of him falling out of bounds. You know the story if you see them hands in between all of them, see your hands.
But Hopkins is giving credit where credit is due. Still retweeting K1 for MVP. He's still on that. So I mean, it's all good either way. So like we always said, when there's 3 targets against Miami, this definitely quells that 3 targets against Miami performance.
Right.
So.
You can tell when he's on the field, Kyler. When Kyler's on the field, he just thinks he's the best guy, the best player on the field. And he's playing like it. He's playing lights out right now to the point where he's locked in. And I love the way he's throwing the ball. He's sitting in the pocket throwing the ball. I love how he's making the right reads and at the right time using his ability to get away and run.
Yeah.
And so it's not like we just have all design plays for him to run the ball like Lamar Jackson does. No, he's back there trying to run the offense, and if it just breaks down, he finds a way out. And he's dynamic. He's hard to defend if you're a defensive coordinator.
Buffalo did a great job doing so. That whole 3 waves at Murray thing, there's some blueprint right there for a lot of teams, and the Rams are definitely going to take note because they got 2 games left to play against us. That whole 3 waves at Kyler thing definitely stopped a lot of those big runs that he likes to pull off.
Yeah, that's true. But he also burned him with his arm, too.
245 yards, only 10 incompletions.
Yeah, see, I mean, we did shoot ourselves in the foot throughout this game, and it just felt like we didn't give him that. And this team needs to have that killer instinct to put teams away.
Yeah.
And we got away with one, because 2 good players made 2 good plays. But when you think about it, you should have put that game away with that 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter when you got that opportunity. When Patrick made the pick, we got that touchdown. And then the kicker for Buffalo shanked a 12-yard punt right to you at the 30-ish yard line. and we turn it into a field goal, which should have been a touchdown.
When you have 217 rushing yards total in the game, 217, almost more than we had passing yards.
Woo!
You had to punch the ball. Well, that was a mistake.
And then, of course, the game came down to that 4:31. Cliff has to be better than that. He has to know. I mean, first of all, you got to be thinking, well, we're killing them in the run. Why would I not run the ball? That's the main thing. I mean, I can understand if you just wasn't, if the run was getting stuffed every time, then you can but Drake was killing them.
Yeah, and
why would you not go for that?
It was the absolute opposite against Miami, right? We were getting killed in the run, and we kept running.
Exactly. It sure was the exact.
So what are we going to do on Thursday?
Oh,
we got to run the ball.
I don't know. This is a tricky one, though, because there's so many elements to this Thursday night game to where you talk about a team that's coming off a high like we're coming off of, can go very high to very low real quick.
Real quick. Yep. Better rest up.
Yeah, it could be real fast. And then that short week, and then you got that Seattle team that's ticked off right now, seething at us because they want to get us back, first of all. Then they played crappy for the last 2 weeks. They want to get back on track. Russell's already said in his presser, we will get back to where we're supposed to be at. So they want to get back at you. So, I mean, I think this win, the type of win the Cardinals had in that type of element or that type of win they got could propel them to a next level of knowing how to go ahead and finish teams off.
That's a second half 14-point comeback. That's a big deal.
Exactly. And when I look at that team, I'm going, wait a minute. They didn't stop our offense all game every once in a while, except on a few red zone plays. We moved the ball at will up and down the field. And that offense has been moving the ball at will for the last 5 games up and down the field. We just continue to take out the shotgun, take our foot out, and just shoot it.
Yeah.
Every time with the penalties. Every time with just fluke stuff that just happens, like only that can happen to us. It's like, what the heck? And it just feels like that something that a curse is on this team. And that's why I asked you in the text. What I asked you to tell, I said, is there any discipline to guys that do stuff like that on this team?
Not
and
for
it don't
this
feel like
coaching
there's a
staff.
disciplinary for stuff like that. And so that's on Cliff too. But for the most part, I think this Cardinal team is the best offense in the league.
Still is,
I'm
yeah.
tell you, and I ain't just talking about from a stat standpoint. I'm talking about this team is probably the best offense in the league because they can move the ball at will, and then Kyler just gives them that element that's like unpredictable. You don't know what's going to blast off from him, and so they can move the ball on that Seattle defense easily. That game's going to come down to what they did. Can they do what they did? Can they duplicate it?
Right.
Force Russell Wilson to throw you the ball. Not easy to do, but the Rams did it. The Rams did it. Also, they must have followed our blueprint or something.
Yeah.
But
Keep
that's
doing
gonna be
it.
a tough one, man. That's going to be a tough one on a short week. Turn right around and get that game out your head that you, woo, man, that was a hell of a no. It's time to focus now again. You got to be playing in a couple of days again.
And it's going to come down to the defense. They have to start fast and early with Russell. They can't let it go to overtime and fourth quarter stuff.
Exactly.
It's got to get him confused early. And let the cards fall where they may. Pun intended.
Let's switch gears still on this Cardinal thing, but it's one thing I looked at on tape that remember we were talking on the text, and I was like, when Patrick Peterson got the pick, I said, was he at safety? Because it felt like he was at safety. On the pick, he wasn't.
Right.
He cut back because he saw the route and he got back, and that was just a good corner move.
He played it like a safety, but he wasn't supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I looked at the tape. In the second half, he was literally back at safety at 3 times. 3 different times he was playing the back guy at safety. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. I said, wow. And he was coming up making tackles rather than and I don't know why they, I guess when they put the game on the line, they figure put him back at the corner. But we said it. I said it. You said it at on neutral zone. Putting him on a fast receiver is not a good idea.
Right.
He can't stay with that fast guy anymore.
He did it best he could, but Diggs is way too fast for him.
There's nothing you can do about that. And the throw was so far wide out. There was no way he was getting his hands on that ball.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect throw, but the speed of those receivers is just way too much. Look at what Ramsey did to DK Metcalf. Same result.
Yep.
physical dude. I can handle a physical dude. It's them fast little guys that you can't. Byron Murphy had a long day.
Yeah.
And he's a good cover guy. So I mean, man, and that's what you would kind of hope that we would have that in Isabella, to be that type of guy that's just a thorn in a team's side. But he hasn't developed into that yet, the speed and how to do those routes.
It's going to take time.
Man, it's a lot to dig in left in this game and on that finish of this game. But I want to finish it out by listening to what the Buffalo side of this sounded like. We heard the Cardinals commentary. The Buffalo guys, Steve Tasker, you know who that is, right? Steve Tasker, former Buffalo special teams guy. He's the broadcaster on the Buffalo side, and listen to it. I love what he broke it down first of what they can't allow to happen, and this is exactly what ended up happening. Look what he said.
The Bills showed pressure, and I like it. Take some pressure, force Kyler Murray to throw the ball quick, get a hand in his face, make him throw the football now. Don't let them have a long developing play that gets somebody down in the end zone where you can get a pass interference or something like that. Force him to throw the football quickly instead of deep.
That didn't
to
happen.
Win this game.
Couple of plays away, ready to go. Cardinals first down at the 43. The snap. Murray pressured. Bills rush 4. Murray's in trouble. Gets away from it. Rolls to his left. Fires it downfield. Puts it up for grabs, and it is caught for a touchdown. Unbelievable. Caught by DeAndre Hopkins, surrounded by a couple of Bills defenders. He went up and brought it down. Unbelievable. Incredible. 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, Bills lose. They got beat by DeAndre Hopkins making a phenomenal play, and that's the kind of play he can make. He's got the best hands in football. He's a great athlete. He's got tremendous ball skills. There were 3 guys around him, and the Bills couldn't stop it.
Oh, that's classic, man. You can feel their pain. It's like they've seen it before. He caught it.
They lost. It's over.
They lost. Bills lost.
Sucks.
Kind of feel their pain. That sounds like our fan base with these Arizona teams, man.
We felt that.
Kazual Sportz Show, Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell, Bird Gang. We'll peace out till tomorrow. We'll catch you later this week. Neutral Zone is going to be Wednesday night.
Woo!
Peace out.